Hello again. We will try and see whether this one goes through without getting interrupted with a really bad connection. But yeah, Nacho Monreal, he is no longer an Arsenal player. He has left and signed for Real Sociedad. Now, I am a little bit surprised by this, given the timing, because I actually thought that he would be playing in the North London derby tomorrow, and then he would go after. So yeah, the timing has kind of surprised me, especially when it's the day before the North London derby. I can see why Arsenal have sold him, shall I say. I've got no problem with that, because we've got Kieran Tierney coming to the side now. He's ahead of schedule with his return, so maybe that might have pushed Arsenal a little bit more. Of course, we've got Kolasinac, so we can't have three left backs. And one of them will be just predominantly spending no time on the pitch at all. And it's just a waste of wages. And when you look at Nacho Monreal's age and everything else, you've kind of got to look at it and say, you know what, that's actually a wise decision by the club. And I feel that they're just going to get through the next few weeks. It does raise the question, though, tomorrow, in terms of team selection and what Unai Emery is going to go with. Does he stick with a back four and play Kolasinac there, or does this now mean that he's going to go with three at the back and push Kolasinac into the left wing back role, where of course he's more comfortable? I want to get your thoughts on it. Everyone that was in the chat earlier on, like I said there, let me know in the super chat if you want your question read out. All the questions and everything else go flying through the normal chat, so if you want me to see yours, put a question in there via the super chat and you will guarantee to have your question read out by myself. Of course, if your question contains anything that's racial, homophobic, sexist, etc., then I will not read it out and you'll be just wasting your own time. So yeah, get those questions in. What do you think? Are you happy that Arsenal have sold Nacho Monreal? What do you think about the timing of the sale? You know, like I said, I suppose our hands are tied in many respects, because you've got the, you know, the European window, which is still open, but it's about to shut. So Arsenal are looking at it and saying, you know what, do we keep hold of him and then, you know, we really get no kind of money for him? And he's kind of playing a bit part. He's part of the old regime, shall we say, where we're looking at and we're going, time to get rid of. It's as simple as that, really, to be quite honest with you. We're looking for younger, fresher players. We've got that in Tierney, and we need to get out some of those older players. And one of those is, of course, Nacho Monreal. So when you look at that, you've got to look at the situation, and you've got to, you know, look at everything involved, and you've got to say it's a smart decision. And I personally have got no issues with it whatsoever. So there we go. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on tomorrow as well? Of course, we've got Spurs. Huge game. Yeah, and the nerves have started to kick in 24 hours before the game. And this is where it starts to build up for me. I start to get really nervous, not because we're playing Spurs and I'm starting to worry and everything else, because I genuinely don't worry when we play against Spurs in that sense, especially at the Emirates, because our record there is superb. You think over the last 13 years at the Emirates, Spurs have only ever beaten us once. Our last 8 meetings with Spurs at the Emirates is 5 wins, 3 draws, a couple of 5-2s in there, a 4-2 last season. So I've got every reason to be, you know, absolutely fine and confident in the game and everything. Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Why should I worry about that game? I'm not fussed, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, we got Spurs, and we're going to have to go out there and perform. We're going to have to go out there and do the job. And it's a chance to start putting some headway between us and Spurs already. We win tomorrow, We go 5 points clear of Spurs already. And I know you'll sit there and say it's only 4 games in and everything else. But the Premier League is so tight and the Premier League is so compact with everything that goes on. 5-point lead already could be absolutely beautiful. And we go into an international break as well, which is crucial. So there we go. Absolutely love that name. Super chat question come in by Dave on a Rave. Yeah, I love that one. And he says, do you think our defense played too far forward? You know what? I've got no problem with the fullbacks playing forward. In the formation of the 4-2-3-1, the system requires your fullbacks to be playing forward. The best example of a 4 with the fullbacks pushing on would be Liverpool's with Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. And they're the 2 best fullbacks in the Premier League, and the way that they bomb on and they get the balance right, and that's key. They've got to get the balance right. The likes of Van Dijk, Matip, or even Lovren, whoever plays next to Van Dijk, they understand about staying and when to go. I think that Arsenal, we're kind of going through that transitional period. We're waiting for Hector Bellerin to come back, Tierney to come in the side. I feel that you will see a much better balance when those 2 are there. And then we can start to balance things. I do still, feel that we need another mainstay in terms of centre-back, and I feel that will be Upamecano. And when you get him in there, then we will start to see, the benefits. I feel that where David Luiz is important at the moment is that he helps break the press, because when teams really start to press, his passing is really, really good. And he can literally just drop the ball over the press into the midfield is where we can cause some problems. So I feel at the moment the defence is not great. It's not working. But you've got to remember we've got a new signing in there, and we've also got 2 fullbacks that are not our first choice fullbacks. Hector Bellerin's so important to that right hand side. I can't wait to see Hector Bellerin and Nicolas Pepe on that right hand side. Good luck to whoever's playing left back, left midfield, etc., to the teams that we play when those 2 are firing, because it's going to be nothing but problems for everyone else. So Nicolas Pepe, I want him to have his home debut tomorrow. He needs to play tomorrow. He played 90 minutes against Liverpool. There's no reason why he shouldn't be playing. I want to see the front 3. I want to see Pepe, Lacazette and Aubameyang. It's as simple as that. Spurs are there for the taking. They're vulnerable. Go for them for the first minute. Just attack. Open them up. Get the game won. Very, very simple. Question coming in from Jack, and he says, who is your biggest prospect this season and why? Do you know what? We've got some very good youngsters within the team, and we've got one of the best academies out there. And you're looking at Joe Willock at the moment is the standout one that's really, putting a foot within the first team and trying to cement his place. He's going to have a big season ahead of him if he keeps playing the way that he is. Reece Nelson, I think it's a big season for him. Whenever he comes into the side, he needs to, start to take his chance, start to get himself on the score sheet, assists, etc., etc. Saka as well, the young lad. I know he's not featuring in the Premier League, but I feel you will see a lot of him in the Carabao Cup, Europa League. He's going to, show what he's all about, in my opinion. I think he's absolutely superb, that young lad. Be interesting to see what happens to Maitland-Niles when Hector Bellerin comes back. Does he sit as just the first choice, second choice, shall I say, right back cover to him? Or will he go back into his more preferred position in midfield and try and fight for a place there? So it's very, very interesting, and I suppose we'll wait and see, and we'll kind of get the idea very soon as to what happens within the side. Mavropanos as well, what actually happens with him? you know, he's been injured for the last year or so. I feel that, you know, maybe he's not in Unai Emery's plans. I don't think that he rates him, to be quite honest with you. I see a question come up a minute ago saying who will we play at left back tomorrow? Where's Kolasinac? It's got to be Kolasinac. It's simple as that. Unless we go with 3 at the back and then we put Kolasinac in a wing back role where he's more comfortable. So, but there we go. Nacho Monreal, he is a Real Sociedad player. He has left Arsenal, and like I said, I can see why they've done it. I've got no problems with it, but at the same time, I just feel that the timing's a little strange. The day before the North London derby, I done my preview yesterday, and I actually put him in to start the game because it was so late in the week that I actually thought that, you know, Arsenal were just going to wait until tomorrow. And yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? So yeah, listen, 7 years at the club, 3 FA Cups, 3 Community Shields. He's been a good servant, loyal servant. Won more trophies than Harry Kane and Dele Alli and all the rest of them mugs. So unlucky boys. You can sit there and mock Nacho all you want, but he's won more for us than any of you lot. Nacho Monreal's won more trophies in 7 years at Arsenal than Spurs have in the last 25 years. Nacho Monreal's bigger than Tottenham. Bring on the North London derby tomorrow, boys. That's what I've got to say. Bring on the North London derby. Shout out to Leon as well that sent in a question, and he says, DT, huge fan of me. Thank you first and foremost. Loves all my content. I swear I didn't pay this guy to write this. Can Arsenal win the Europa League this time around? He's actually a Chelsea fan. Good luck for Sunday, and he hopes that we beat those fools at least 6-0. Have a great day. Listen, first of all, Leon, thank you to you. Have a great day yourself. And do I think we can win the Europa League? I don't see why not. Last 2 years, we've made the semi-final and the final. Don't get me wrong, it was an absolute shambles in the final last year. But Unai Emery has a habit of getting his teams to the Europa League finals, and when you look at the sides that are there, I suppose you've got to watch out for who drops down from the Champions League and whether one of the big sides get in there. But apart from that, yeah, there's not really too many teams to worry about. I suppose you've got Wolves. They could be dangerous in terms of the sides from the Premier League in there, but nobody else. I'm not too worried, really. It kind of gets interesting once the teams from the Champions League drop down, and then that's when the big sides come in. So yeah, we'll wait and see, but I do think that we have a chance of winning it. But it also depends what we're doing in the Premier League at those times. Once we get to around about the quarterfinals, that's when you start to see where you are in the league, and we might prioritize the league if we're in a you know, a dangerous, you know, situation, and we're, you know, maybe trying to chase down 4th, and we might have to prioritize the Europa because it doesn't look like we're going to get into the Champions League, or we might be right up there in the mix, and you know, we have to take our foot off the gas a little bit in the Europa. Who knows? But I see someone actually bit to that as well when Man United are dangerous, you fool. Hook, line and sinker. Reel him in. Reel him in. Absolutely love it. This is what I like about the live streams. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, listen, it is what it is. So tomorrow, North London derby. That's what I'm looking forward to. Nacho Monreal, he is no longer an Arsenal player. Real Sociedad, good luck to him. Thank you very much for your service to Arsenal. He's been a great servant. And yeah, we go on tomorrow. I see a question there. Would you be happy with a draw? No, 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 no. I do not want a draw. Only a victory against Spurs will do for me. And I feel that that's what we are going to get. So there we go. If you haven't checked out the preview already, it's on my channel. Go watch it. I'm going to be doing some live feeds tomorrow from the Emirates. We're going to go and take a look at the starting lineup and everything else. So we will see what happens. So Nacho Monreal, thank you for your services to Arsenal. Good luck at Real Sociedad. But it's time to move on, and it's time to rebuild that team. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. Thank you to everyone in the chat, and I'll see you lot soon. I'm out of here.